going on. So here we are. Greetings, greetings, greetings. A little bit late, not too much though, about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So hopefully those who are joining us will get joining. And we're speaking about the COVID vaccine. So we'll just like potter on a little bit and see who jumps on, because we want people to throw their comments in. Yeah, please comment as much as you want, as much as you like, as much as you can. Hey. All right. So who's going to start? Okay. All right. Let me give a little bit of
Roy. Said our first in class today.
Hey, Roy.
Hello, Roy.
Let me give a little bit of context first, if I may, as to one of the reasons why I said, right, let me talk about the COVID. I'm going to say a couple of things. First thing, as far as credentials go, because I've seen there was a post that someone put on Facebook recently, a pastor. And that particular pastor said that, there are a lot of preachers and others, such as myself, who have, certain platform where at least a few hundred, maybe thousands of people in some cases are looking at their things, their posts and so forth. And they are irresponsible, she said, because they are conspiracy theorists. Right? And then went on to talk about, some of the things that we are going to talk about in detail. She just touched them briefly. So here's what I have to say first about.
Good evening, Debbie.
Hi, Debs. Here's what I have to say first about the conspiracy theory issue.
I saw this the other day. Must be the comments.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. And let me, I don't like to sort of like put out there and say, oh, I'm a very learned person, this or that. But if we want to go there, and you can test me on IQ if you wish. My IQ is at just around genius level, and there's no doubt or argument. We can test it if you wish. So I can be tested any day that anybody wants to test me on my ability to research and retain information and to be able to understand and interpret information. I am excellent. I don't have a problem in doing that. I am not a conspiracy theorist. Just because the government says something is real or true doesn't mean it is.
Exactly.
Just because somebody in authority says something is real or true doesn't mean it is. And if we want to know anything about that, let's just talk about lying policemen.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm only saying that, we're not going there. But all of you, particularly and especially black people, we know, especially black males.
Yeah.
We know how much liars British policemen can be. And yes, there's some who are going to jump out. It's not me. I'm not one of them. No, you might not be, but you're in the minority. Because most of them who I've met, that's what they are. Right? And that's not a conspiracy theory. That is a fact by experience. Now, a white man might turn around and say to me, but I don't have that experience, so therefore it's not true. Well, it's true to me. Right? We could say the same thing even about school.
Yeah.
I could name school teachers from my day when I was in secondary school. There are white pupils who thought those teachers were brilliant and excellent. And I've turned around and said they were absolute crap. They were evil, disgusting, racist pigs. Why? Have a look here. We have a different life experience.
Yeah.
You see? So that's all I'm going to say about that anyway, in terms of qualification. That's it. I speak also, from understanding, from intelligence, and from experience. So let me turn to the point of experience. I put my post and spoke about lying medical professional people and pharmaceutical companies because of what they've done to me.
Exactly.
So, 1992. Oh, yes, 92. April 1992. I was diagnosed with, in fact, it was March, but they didn't send the letter until April. So let me be extremely precise. Yeah, just to show you that I can be. Yeah, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Let me keep on emphasizing that. Okay. So just so those who thought I was, they'll understand that I'm not. March 1992. How many years ago was that? 28 years plus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I didn't even know what that was. So I'm asking, what the heck is that? Because they were trying to be clever, not even telling me, because I didn't know that it was a cancer. They said, "Oh, I'm sorry to say you have Hodgkin's lymphoma." I'm like, what the heck is that? Right? And it took me about 2 weeks before they would actually explain to me properly what it was. So after the diagnosis, they then gave the prognosis. Okay, so now see, for those who think I'm a conspiracy theorist and I'm not intelligent, I do know the difference between a diagnosis and a prognosis. And for those of you who don't, go and study it and look it up and find out, because there is a difference. Okay, so people who think that I talk and I don't know what I'm saying, here we are. So after the diagnosis, they gave me the prognosis. The prognosis was that it's likely that I would die. Right? I was 22. And it told me, maybe, possibly, probably, you're going to die. But what we need to do, we need to give you a very aggressive form of treatment. We're going to give you radiotherapy first, and we're going to see if that can reduce things. I don't want to go into the details of what was going on. It was cancer. That's all you need to know for now, because I want to talk about the medication and stuff. So they said, "Oh, we're gonna see what's going on after the radiotherapy, but most likely we will also need to give you radiotherapy, and after the radiotherapy we will need to give you chemotherapy." So that's what they're told. So I said, okay. And I didn't, and that's because that's the normal routine that they follow. I didn't even understand what chemotherapy was. So I've asked them, we're going to have to give you cytotoxic chemotherapy. So I went to look up cytotoxic because I didn't know what that was.
As you would.
And basically it means they're killing things within your body. That's what it means, that they're actually killing cells within your body,
just hoping to get the cancer.
And at the same time as killing cancerous ones, they kill good ones at the same time.
Yeah.
So that was their that was what their philosophy was. So there was a fairly new drug around at the time called doxorubicin, which has a nickname, the Red Devil. Right, so that tells you enough. It also goes by another name of adriamycin. And they said, "Oh, we're gonna give you these other drugs, which I'm not going to go into all of the others, and we're going to give you this one as well." And they said this one, and they tell it. Here's just to show you that, again, didn't really think about it. At 22, I wasn't looking at the world the way I do now.
Of course.
And that's why I've taught my daughter, who is now how old? 22. She has got a much wider and better world perspective than I had at 22. Even though I was already a parent and prison officer and blah, 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 but my world perspective was quite narrow. And my understanding of how to look at certain things. she doesn't have that problem. That's why we're on the live together.
Exactly.
So I just, I'm thinking, oh yeah, these doctors, consultant, because I saw even professor of oncology. So I thought, yeah, these guys, little did I know, they're using me as a guinea pig, right? So yes, we're going to give you, and they explain that, because I saw the nurse come now when they'd explained about the drug. The nurse is wearing double gloves. She's wearing apron, visor, right? And I'm just sat in the chair, right? And they've said, oh, once they put the cannula in, when they put the needle in with this particular drug, nobody can touch it when it's diffusing, right? So that and it can't drop on your skin. It has to, yeah. So they had all stuff covering up the rest of my skin around the cannula, and I had this treatment for months. They poured this evil drug into my body for months. The Red Devil, doxorubicin, knowing, and they did know that people who usually take that drug for a certain period of time, at the end of it, after some number of years, and it may be 10 years, 20 years, 15 years later, they will have reduced ejection fraction in the left ventricle. They will have left bundle branch block. Now, again, I'm not going to explain what those things are. You can run this back and go look them up. For the conspiracy theorist people who think that I am and I'm not intelligent, I know what all of those things mean in detail. All right? So I'm not telling stories, I'm speaking reality. They knew that this would happen, but they didn't inform me. They didn't give me a choice of whether I would refuse that particular drug or not, because it wasn't the only drug that I was on. At one point in time, I was taking 36 tablets per day. All right? It wasn't the only drug that I was on. I was taking 36 tablets per day, and every fortnight, I had other drugs infused intravenously into my body, all cytotoxic chemotherapy to fight cancer. This particular drug, they knew that it would damage people's hearts. I was an athlete, a sporty person. I did weight training, I did karate, self-defense, athletics, all sorts. So I've always been super fit and strong. All of a sudden, 25 years later, boom, I'm having breathing problems and one thing and another. And we need to see what's going on. I've been diagnosed with dilated cardiomyopathy. So again, what exactly does that mean? I've gone to find out. It means basically the heart muscle has stretched and it's dying. Why has that happened? Because of the Red Devil, doxorubicin. I'm in conversation now with an Italian woman who I've never met in person, but she's on the same group as I am for people with heart failure. She's had exactly the same treatment, the exact same medicine, and almost had it in the same year as me, and she has got exactly the same thing, right? So for those who think that objections to vaccines and objections to medicine is all just about conspiracy theory, it is not. Exactly. I speak by personal experience. I don't want to stretch the story too far, right? Because there's no point. I'm sitting here by the grace of God. I am as well looking as I am by the grace of God, not because of the medicine of men. No. Because the medicine of men was on its way to killing me, right? The lady who I'm speaking to, who has exactly the same condition as me, she's struggling because she doesn't have the faith in the Almighty God like I do. And I'm not ashamed to say that or scared to know that it is the power of God through prayer. Why I'm sitting here and why when they see me, they even wonder, you look really, really good. Right now, I'm fighting with doctors about medication continuously. I don't look how they expect me to look, and I'm telling them to change some of my medication, and they're going to change it. On Thursday, I have another appointment. They are going to change that medicine to what I want it to be.
But they don't want to.
Because they don't want to change it.
Because
Because they want to
That-
poison.
That's
people.
right. They want to poison people.
Yeah.
There is a medicine which will begin to actually literally repair my heart.
Mm.
And it's very expensive, and they're trying to find excuses. Your blood pressure is too low, blah blah blah. I on last week Thursday I nearly went crazy. And they went, oh, please, are you going to listen to me? I said, yeah, well, get on with it then. I said, because you're wasting my time. Said, oh, but you know, your blood pressure is really low. I said, why is my blood pressure low?
Yeah.
Well, actually, one of the drugs that you're on the maximum dose. I said, exactly my point. You are the ones who are making my blood pressure to be lower. I was born with low blood pressure. My blood pressure is naturally low.
Yeah.
Just like I used to have a low heart rate because I was fit. But now they have lowered it even more because of their medication, and then telling me we can't change the medication because your blood pressure is low.
But you're the one that's giving me medication. You see what
So now the nurse told me a trick. Listen, the nurse told me a trick to do because she said, I can see, I know you want to get to change it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you what she told me to do, but she told me a trick to do so that now when they take my blood pressure on Thursday, it should register higher. And she said, as long as it registers higher, she will agree to change the medication.
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling you
It's all
that they're playing games with people.
Yeah, they are.
Right? They're playing games with people. I don't want to say any more about any of that because I don't want to lose my temper.
I heard those vaccines are not good for us. Why don't they first start with themselves?
Exactly.
Well, this is what we're saying.
This is what I said.
Wow. This is what we've been speaking about, isn't it? Because, you know, this is not, if we go back and look at other vaccines even, let's even start there. Let's not even just look at this COVID one. Let's go back and look at other ones, yeah? There are books. Go online. There are books and hundreds, if not thousands of articles talking about how vaccines have caused autism, infertility, sudden infant death syndrome, which that is just rubbish anyway. And never listen to that ever because it's foolishness. They have killed them. That's all it means.
Yeah, there's no
death
such thing.
syndrome.
Healthy babies that have just been born don't just
Because the thing is that even the issue of the infertility, they have now admitted, right, that there are drugs, particularly and especially what they have been giving free to African countries. They have put contraceptives in those drugs to either curtail the fertility of the women or to sterilize them. Okay, these are absolute facts.
Let
Boris and all of them take it first. Let's see if they're still 100%.
This is what I'm saying. You know, they've
people pushing it. They should be first to
you know, if we let's talk about Britain, and we could talk about, you know, we can talk about so many other countries, but let's talk about Britain. Everybody knows, right? At least it was in my era. So those who are around my age group, people like Roy and so forth, they'll have known about this. The drug thalidomide, right? I don't know if you guys have heard of thalidomide.
No,
right?
I don't think I have.
Now, when we were young, when I was a kid, right, people used to be rude, and they would be calling people "you flid," right?
Oh yeah,
and that's where that term comes from, and it's from the drug thalidomide. And what thalidomide was a drug that they gave to women during pregnancy. Okay, it's supposed to be for their health, and what was actually happening was that when those babies were born, they were born without limbs. So the babies who ended up being born, some were born with no legs, some were born with no arms, or if they were born with limbs, they were shortened because it was affecting the growth of the baby. And basically it was because there was an experimental drug and they wanted to experiment. And there's lots of people who ended up being born with extremely serious birth defects, right? Because of it. And it still took them long before it was removed from the market.
Yeah, I've been talking about that. Oh, saying that she obviously was in the same time.
Yeah. You know, so this is what I'm saying, and that's UK.
Yeah.
You know, if we talk about India, or goods.
Yeah, I heard these vaccines are meant to finish us Africans. They don't want high population.
Well, that's right. We're coming to that. We're going to speak about that in a bit of detail.
Yeah.
So let's just put a base down, and then we'll build on top of it.
Yeah. That's the
So-
easiest way.
This person who said that conspiracy theorists like us, we need to be quiet because we just and they're speaking badly about Bill Gates, and Bill Gates
Yeah.
Foundation is
right.
great. Bill Gates is evil.
Yeah, it is.
Remember me tell you that.
Yeah.
Seed of the sun.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Let me repeat myself in very nice, good, proper English. Please remember that I have said dirty Bill Gates is evil,
Yeah.
right?
To the core.
I'm not mincing my words and I'm not taking them back. And they know my name and I've said it,
Yeah.
right? If anybody has been watching has watched The Mandalorian, now I'm a Star Wars maniac, me. So I've been watching The Mandalorian, and the little guy on there, when he says something and he means it, he says, "I have spoken."
Yeah.
Right? So I have spoken.
Simple.
Dirty Bill Gates is evil.
There he is.
So let me tell you about Bill Gates then, because his foundation they're giving out free medication, blah blah blah. They found that there were certain parts of sub-Saharan Africa which he hates like poison.
Yeah.
Where you find darker skinned black people.
Yeah.
He was giving medication there for free, and it was sterilizing the women.
Yeah.
And when they found out, they began to give all sorts of reasons and excuse why it happened. But it's come from the Bill Gates Foundation. That's number one.
They're the benefactors.
Number
Yeah.
two, he went to India with polio injections. Right? He went to India with polio injections, and said that they're gonna give these polio injections to all the Indian people, right?
To be
And it's free of charge. And and so what happened? Many children in India began to get polio. They began to get sick. Now, Bill Gates Foundation and himself and his wife, they can't go to India,
yeah.
right?
They're not allowed there.
Because if they go there, they will be finding out what the Indians can do.
Mm-hmm.
You see, they don't want him there because he was mashing up the people's children with his vaccine that he's giving them for free,
Yeah.
right? Because at the end of the day, this is what it's designed for. They want to kill off people. You see, and particularly and especially black people. What's Nathaniel said here?
If it comes to it that we have to take the vaccine in order to fly abroad, then this means I'll be seeing more of them steadiness often, maybe even Bali.
What do you mean? Listen,
Staying in them cabins and all them things there, mate.
Caravan
Listen.
holiday.
because obviously there's so much that we could say. We're just trying to take our time and put it together
Yeah.
with a foundation. But let's go systematic, bit by bit.
Because if not, you start jumping all
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, it's all like that.
Because we're going to talk about what they're putting in it,
Oh yeah.
But let's talk about let's talk a bit more about the track record, of vaccines and of
In
one
general, yeah.
and of one of the biggest what's the word I'm looking for?
Manufacture.
Agitators. He's
Oh.
agitated me anyway.
Yeah.
He's one of the biggest advocates for the vaccine, Bill Gates, right? He said, and these are his own words, that in the past Microsoft was his main focus in life, right? And he said now that he's allegedly resigned from being anything to do with Microsoft, which is a lie, because he's a very extremely controlling personality.
Yeah.
So he's just put a figurehead there. He's still in charge of
Stop the
Microsoft.
lies.
Don't fool yourself. He's still in charge. But he said that now his primary focus in life is vaccines.
Mm.
This is a man with no medical training, who has shown no medical interest before, right? He's a man of figures and numbers, basically, statistics.
Mhm.
He's a man of statistics. He's a computer.
Yeah.
right? If you even see how he reads and how he behaves, he himself is a computer,
Yeah, yeah.
right? That's why he's without emotion,
Yeah.
right? And he said his primary interest in life now is vaccines. So on the surface of it, people thought, oh, wow, that really sounds good. You know, he wants to give. So he said, oh yes, and I need to start going to Africa, right? Have a look at the actual real track record of how many people have got sick from those vaccines. And some, we're talking about either those who have died, that's number one, or secondarily, those who have ended up with serious side effects from dirty Bill Gates and his vaccines.
That would be a real dilemma.
Well, I'm going to answer that in a minute, Roy. Right? And there's and you know, for those again who want to look for facts and figures, you know, the interesting thing about life is that those same people who use statistics and numbers to satisfy their argument, we can also use them against them, right?
So
And sometimes that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
So we can, you know, if you think I'm lying, you know, go and look and you will see the facts of what I'm saying. And this is not a new thing. Now, come 2015, here is dirty Bill Gates talking on a TED Talk.
Yes.
Right?
I know exactly which one he's talking about.
And what did he say?
You know, it's time. The world is getting overpopulated, and you know, it's time for us to start thinking about population control. All eugenics talk coming in.
And of course, eugenics talk will come in because his daddy was the head of it. And his dad is a Nephilim.
Yes.
And again, some people, you don't know what Nephilim is.
Go and look.
Look it up because I'm a conspiracy theorist, aren't I?
Yeah, innit? Is this also on YouTube? Facebook keeps
Of course, Facebook. Yeah.
I knew it.
Of course, Facebook. Yes, it's on YouTube. You know why Facebook is pausing? Because Facebook are supporters of the vaccine, and they know what we're talking about. Yeah, see, look.
Yeah, it keeps jumping.
And when I thought it was, I wondered what was going on.
Yeah, it's Facebook that's doing it. They keep pausing it. So we're on YouTube as well, folks, under my account name.
I'm trying to find it too.
It seems to be okay. It seems to be running all right on YouTube still. But I already knew. I had preempted that Facebook would do this. You know, there's no surprise whatsoever there.
Yeah.
It's just Bishop John Chambers anyway, isn't it? You'll find it. But, okay.
I just put the link just in case. It should just.
But yeah.
Can I have the link? I'll just put it in there.
So just in case they keep on pausing us more, because it seems to be what they want to do.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, because they keep doing it. Because I was noticing,
and we've noticed that's what Facebook is up to, and there's no surprise
before anyway.
Because this also is something that people have to understand. Facebook,
are part of the agenda.
You know, they're part of the agenda, and they think that they're part of the police of the world.
Yeah, they do.
You know,
blocking off your things.
So when you put things which are real and true, they like to be putting things like you're lying. This is what do they put? This is false information. And, you know, all these type of things. Now, again, for the conspiracy theorist people who think that I'm one of them, when I post things, I'm very careful in how I word it. And I do that so that they don't get the opportunity very easily.
Look, when you said Bill Gates is,
and that's what happened.
Yeah.
I knew it because it kept doing it on my phone. I could see it was like jumping back.
Gates.
Oh yeah. As soon as we start talking about Bill Gates,
I see you, Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
I know you're on this live.
Oh yeah, we know that they watch, even though we might look like, oh, there's only a few people watching. We know how this goes.
Yeah.
Because we know that they're right. Let's hear what they're going to talk about, and we'll see when we can start messing up their program because we don't want the information to be out there. Well, irrespective of what they say, we're going to talk, and it's going to be out there. like I said, this is one of the reasons why. This is one of the reasons why I word things quite carefully on my Facebook post, because I know
Yeah,
that if I don't word them carefully, they'll be like, ah,
they'll block
Yeah,
you.
that's what I
blocked,
know.
blocked, blocked. And it's very rare that they ever flag up my post because I word them very carefully.
Because you have to really think.
You know?
And that's what I
And I
realized.
try,
They're jumping on everything.
I put absolute truth. There was one time I put something about the police, they jumped on it immediately. Oh, what you have said, blah, 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 it comes against our community standards and I don't know what. And then asked me for my opinion. I told them I don't agree with your community standards. They told me I must be careful or I'll be banned,
Yeah, you see?
right? Because I don't agree with them.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden Facebook is not free speech, it's
No, it's
Gestapo.
not. Because already look, because obviously Instagram, as soon as Instagram got taken over by Zuckerberg, look what's happening. The exact same thing. Because I use Instagram like how Dad uses Facebook.
Mhm.
I use it to speak about things and to say what I want to say on there, to
Mhm.
post what I want to post.
They got bad
And then they kept blocking off my stuff, and then chatting about if I don't stop, they'll be locking off my page.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you know, and this
Yeah.
is how they behave. And hence they've read the title.
Yeah.
I put it from Sunday, I think it was, and said early warning.
So,
We're gonna, so they knew, so they've been looking, they were ready,
Mhm.
you know. But here's the thing, we're not lying.
No.
There's no lies told in anything that we're saying. We're speaking only the truth,
Mhm.
right? And the truth is deep.
Yeah.
You know, we even if we spend whatever length of time, an hour and a half or whatever it may be, you know, in conversation, we cannot say all,
No.
right? It's just not possible.
It's not.
But we're going to say some of it. Like I said, I already gave the reason and the foundation as to why I will speak from feelings, experience, and even from emotion.
Yeah.
So for those people who are busy telling me, oh, you shouldn't, because I put a post and I said directly in that post, do not take the vaccine. Well, guess what? I'm saying it again.
Do not say
It is my personal opinion. It's not a medical opinion because I'm not purporting to be a doctor.
We're not pretending. Like
I'm
Bill
not
Gates.
pretending to be a doctor like Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Because when Bill Gates gives his opinion, and it is only an opinion, right? Because he's not giving a diagnosis. He has no medical credentials to do that. He cannot give neither diagnosis nor prognosis.
No.
But he does it.
Yeah.
And people accept it because it's Bill Gates and he's got money. I don't care what you think. I've got the wisdom of God,
Exactly.
right?
No.
And I also have personal choice.
Yeah.
So Bill Gates can take my injection, his injection, Tamar's, Angelica's, and at least all of my family in my house, and he can stick all of them in his bottom,
Yeah.
right? Let him take all of them together.
Yeah.
Because if they're good for him, then take all of them, because then he's doubly connected.
But this is a man
You know?
who doesn't even
I
vaccinate.
know
He
you're,
vaccinates
you're,
his own
laugh,
children.
you're laughing, Angelica, because I said he's doubly connected. But I'm even going to tell them in a minute. I'm going to tell them in a minute the reason why I'm saying that he's connected. Because this is what we've got to understand. That, you know, this is connectivity. It isn't just a joke.
And mine, Debbie said.
There you go. That's it. That's another one. Yes.
Israel's put the thingy. The truth is there for who has eyes. The truth is there for who has eyes to see. Does it really seem sensible to vaccinate for a virus that has a
Right there.
99.97% survival rate? It's all about suppressing the VMAT2 gene and replacing DNA with RNA. Dirty Babylon soon fall.
You don't know.
Yeah, exactly that, Israel.
Right? Listen,
See someone who has some knowledge.
because conspiracy theorists,
And he's still family.
right? And his family as well,
That's why he's got the knowledge, mate.
right?
Oh, yeah, Debbie said he's
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And Debbie's family too. So there you are. See, our family, we know.
Yeah.
You know, we're not, and we are not in isolation, neither literally nor mentally.
Yeah.
Okay, and we will not be, and we will not be controlled either.
No.
You know, I tell people all the time, and that in itself is another story. Which, you know, if you're part of my Zoom, I teach I teach the Bible on
Yeah.
Zoom every Wednesday from 6:30 and every Sunday from 6:30 p.m. So anybody who wants to join our Zoom class, you can inbox me and I'll give you the information. All right, but I teach every Sunday and every Wednesday. And
Quite dense, you know.
right now we're talking about a deep subject.
Yeah.
Right, we're talking about the roots, the origin of the nation and the tribes
Yeah,
of Israel.
yeah.
Real Israel, not fake
Not
Israel.
fake Israel. Yeah.
And you'd find it quite interesting. That's I don't want to say too much, but
3 people are in there now. Someone else has said to switch.
but
over.
just to say that we don't play with this. We go and we look for the correct information.
Yeah.
And I think if you look for correct information and then balance it, you'll be surprised what you will find. This is not conspiracy theory
No, it's
whatsoever.
not.
You know, for all those who just everything you see what they've used over the years. Anytime somebody wants to dispute what the status quo is saying, they use a couple of things. They call it a conspiracy theory, or they call it a myth,
Yeah.
or a legend.
Yeah.
Right? So, like so when you talk about anything, where now, for instance, we might now be speaking positively about our people who look, something like us. Suddenly, many of those things go into the area of myths and legends.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Why
not.
is it not
It's
just
not.
history?
It's not history. The only history is the one that they feed to you.
Yeah.
So you've got to understand that if that's what they do on a historical basis for their books, etc.,
And we all know.
right?
this.
And when I say they, I'm not talking about anybody with color. I'm talking about the system, right? As my nephew put it, Babylon system, right? Call it what you want, but that's a good name for it still.
Yeah.
You see, we're talking about the system, and there are people in that system who are as brown as me. So for those who think that this is now some racist discussion, it isn't.
It ain't.
Right? It isn't. Because that won't even help because it goes deeper than that. But the system has a plan. And that's what that people have to understand, that this injection, the whole pandemic, right, is all about a plan. It is a contrived situation, right? In fact, Tamar, you can talk some more about that. Because if we don't say this part, it's not going to make sense to what the objection is about the injection.
Yeah.
It's just another injection, but it isn't just another injection.
It's not.
Yeah.
Because if we look into this.
Because did you know? Sorry, Tamar.
Go on.
Did you know they're expecting you to take this vaccine every year? Not just one time,
They don't tell you that.
and then it will last, 10 years. Like you'll have a TB injection, right? And the TB injection lasts 10 years. No, they want this to be like the flu vaccine, where you take it every year.
And they want
to keep it circulating the same way they are with the flu.
Keep it topped up. Because listen, anyway. First, when this whole pandemic came around, already what was I like that straight away? Was I not saying to you, this is not right? Something's strange here. Something is not normal, and I'm gonna look to find. That's what I was saying. I'm looking into this because this ain't normal about lockdown. When in the world has this ever happened? The whole world is on lockdown.
I think we both started researching the same thing. Then I came to you with that thing about Ellen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because then we were noticing a lots of celebrities were acting strange online and doing these things, and that's when, of course,
they're not getting their fix.
Yeah, exactly. Then it tied into the adrenochrome. Yeah, and you realised, all these people are aging fast. They're not looking fresh. They're losing their pizzazz or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, their little spunk, whatever. They're losing it. They're not. they're not as lively and energetic. And why was that? Then when you look further into it, you then found, oh, what's Trump unveiling and what's he doing at the moment? All of the human trafficking, child trafficking, sex trafficking. That's what was happening. Who else was also on lockdown? But it wasn't lockdown. They was on tag in their yard, house arrest, Ellen, Oprah, Obama, etc. I'm not even gonna. The list is too long. Yeah, Hillary Clinton being one of the main perpetrators. Yeah, the list is long. These people were all on house arrest. Go and search. There's literally pictures where you can see the tag, like they're a criminal. Go and look for this. I'm not lying. Yeah, these are all the things that you're seeing while we're on house arrest. Oh, they're on house arrest, but to make nobody know what's going on, that's why there's a lockdown.
Like it's normal.
Exactly, like everyone has to stay home. This is normal. It's not strange, you know, for us celebrities to be at our house. It's normal. Everyone's at home because we're all in this pandemic.
We're all in this together.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sick and tired of
but
that.
this is
damn
what I
phrase.
mean. So then all this pandemic is happening. Meanwhile, you know, what you then found, everybody's looking old, and then guess what you also find? Oh, there's been no children that have been abducted since the lockdown began. And
they're all being found.
Yeah.
There are literally hundreds and hundreds of children are being found.
Underneath,
Right? Underground tunnels and all
all
these type of things. And why? Because this is all part of it. Then there's a second part to it, which is the financial side of it. So Facebook, who we're on now,
and I heard this just yesterday,
tried doing their own cryptocurrency. And China said, you think you're going to beat us? So China went ahead and nationalized their cryptocurrency.
So China won't be beaten.
And why did China do that? Because they will not be beaten. Because the world superpower in some years to come will not be USA. USA is going down. So never mind, you people who voted for Biden and you think it's good, Merry Christmas. What
Happy
else is
New
there?
Year.
Happy New Year. Good luck. God bless. Happy birthday. Happy anniversary. All of it together. Right? Because you don't understand what you're doing. Right? We don't like Trump. We don't business if you like him or not. Right? Because it's not about whether you like him.
The thing I then started, you know, having problems, should I say? That's all I'm going to say. I then started having problems because I openly support Trump. I don't care. Get over it. Yes, I do support Trump. What's your problem? You're telling me, oh, you support a person who's racist and this and homophobe and that.
And
Okay,
Biden is what then?
Go and look. Go and type in Biden. I even said this on the last live actually. Go and type in Biden's racist comments, and you're gonna find a little clip on YouTube with them all compiled together of him saying little things. Yeah, this and that, little nasty racist things. And this is him chatting to crowds of people. This is not him
because what it is,
someone trying to get him while he's
what it is with him,
Yeah.
because he at the moment cannot process properly
No, he
mentally. There's things that just come out of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and when you analyze those things, then you know. And furthermore, we don't care about that either. We've grown up knowing racist people and hearing racist comments and all of this. So, you know, well done Facebook doing their usual.
Yeah,
Facebook
doing their
is nice,
usual.
clever, man.
Hello, Daniel. Hi, Daniel.
But they can, you know, they can freeze us 1,000,000 times. We're not going to stop talking.
Yeah,
That's what I was about to say. I won't stop talking.
You know, and if we think that something we said wasn't caught, we go back to it, right? And we'll say it twice.
Yeah.
So, you know, I said Facebook, tried doing I've done their own cryptocurrency because Facebook works for the system, right?
Yeah, they do.
And China said, very good for you, we're going to beat you because we're going to nationalize our cryptocurrency. And we are going to continue to make the USA be in debt. Because when we want the money that they owe us, we want it in Chinese cryptocurrency. And this is what's happening. Now, you people who believe that this is all conspiracy theory, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
Because what you're going to find out in a little while from now, and it may be within the next 10 years, if you would like me to give you any kind of prediction, because, you know, it will be within the next 10 years because they will have finished all of this by 2030.
Yeah.
Because there is a worldwide agenda for 2030. And for those, again, who think that this is a conspiracy theory, remember I told you at the beginning that I am very good at research. And for those of you who do not believe that, go and research Agenda 2030.
Yeah.
And particularly and especially look at the security issues.
Yeah.
And then also look at the connection between the security issues and the International Monetary Fund.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
And the World Bank.
Yeah.
When you take that and you make those connections, then come back and argue with me if you can. And I guarantee you will not be able to. So I've slowed down deliberately so that you can process all of what I'm saying and understand that these are not conspiracy
No, they're
theories.
not. This is fact.
Right? These are facts that they are on a world reset.
Yeah.
It is a world financial reset.
Yeah.
Right? And because when you begin to look at the story,
Yes.
Yeah,
Daniel.
2020
That's
set
right.
up as a test
Set up as a
run.
test
Oh my
run.
gosh, I keep saying this to people.
It's a test.
Right?
This is an experiment.
and I told
And
people,
you're failing.
that the problem that we have is that there are not enough people who are understanding that this is actually a reset.
Yeah.
Second to that, even those who kind of might think yes because they don't like China, so they think about it from that perspective. It's they're communist, blah blah blah, and all of that. Okay, good. Whether it's communism or capitalism really won't make any difference.
No, it won't.
In the long run, none of that will matter, right?
No
because-
matter what you are.
Because what it really is about is Satan.
Yes.
Yes.
Luciferianism,
Yeah.
right? That's what you've got to understand.
That's exactly
That's what this is all about. It's pushing
it.
things
Want
to one
the
direction. So, for instance, if I were to tell you that one day they may turn around and tell every church to close and remain closed permanently,
We
I
told you
could-
that 5 years
I could
ago.
tell you now there's some preachers who jump up and tell me, nah, the God, no, I tell you, the God I serve. But never mind about the God you serve, right? You will fast until you drop dead and your belly's hanging out,
Yeah.
right, from starvation. There are some things you are not going to alter because they have to come to pass.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not on here to preach. I have a different platform for that. All right. So I'm not going to enlighten people who don't understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But if you like, go to my page and look at what I preached a little bit, just a short sermon on last Friday, which was about the end times. And I didn't really speak about these things per se. I spoke about people's attitudes and what's actually going on around us. But it's there. And there's more than that I could have spoken of about the end times. Now, we are approaching the end times.
Yeah.
But the problem is that some people don't understand what that means because they're telling you we're going to make a better world and a better earth and all the rest that goes with it. There's nothing that will be better without Jesus Christ in it. It's as simple as that. Okay, and for those who don't want to hear the preaching or don't want to hear that name Jesus, it's my platform. So Facebook, you can freeze me again if you like, right? But it's my platform, so I will say the world cannot and will not be better without Jesus. Right? It's as simple as that. I've said it. Or as the little man says in The Mandalorian, I have spoken.
Yeah.
But those, Star Wars is my thing, so sorry, but
Man.
I'm telling you, it is a reset. You're going to come to a point in time. You're going into shops right now, and many of them say, I don't want the cash.
Yeah.
They don't want your money.
Yeah.
Can you use a card?
Can you use
Can you
card?
use a card?
Please?
Blah 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 blah.
Use card if
Right?
you can.
And then
And then if you can't, it's still an issue. So why
Yeah.
why you acting like it's an option?
man who's laughing.
But it's rubbish. It is rubbish.
And then you're going to come to a point where now they're going to be forcing people onto this digital currency, right? So you may ask yourself, oh,
Having connection issues. You see the rubbish?
yes, Yes, we know.
We know.
We know, Roy. It's Facebook because of what we're talking about.
They don't like the
You know,
subject.
they hate the subject, and so this is why they're doing it. Because I assure you, we don't normally have any connection issues.
No, because when we're talking about any other thing that's not too deep, right?
They
The
just
whole
leave
thing,
it.
it goes
It
the whole
flows.
time.
But when
Yeah.
it's other things that they don't want us talking
Like, look at the
about,
Baphomet agenda one.
Mhm.
YouTube completely locked that one off.
YouTube chopped that down.
Yeah,
from
they
over
closed it.
1
We could-
hour
yeah.
to 10 minutes.
And made it look like it was still running.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about that today.
You know, we thought it was still running.
When you come back 10 minutes, that's it. They trimmed it off. real
Trimmed
quick.
it off to 10. It's just a good thing that we had it on Facebook as well. And this is why it's good that we've done it.
We do the
both.
both.
Yeah.
You know,
Because if you
but
don't-
we know that you know, today Facebook wouldn't be our best friends.
No,
We knew
we
that.
already do. Well, I did hear yesterday,
Mhm.
no, actually, or was it earlier today, that it's now been found out that Facebook actually, you know how usually there's people that give money towards the election
Oh, yeah.
and all this. Facebook gave some ridiculous millions amount, 10 point something million to this state, 18 point something million to that
Right.
state, 15 point million to. Why are they doing that?
Well, because it's all part of the pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're all part of the agenda.
Yeah.
See, what people have to understand, right, is that irrespective of what you consider and understand about the virus, don't say that it's not a real virus. I had a conversation with somebody today. I said to her, listen, said, if you go to so-and-so hospital, then you will realize that it's a real virus.
But it's
I
never
said,
actually-
I've not argued about the virus.
Yeah.
My argument is not about the virus, right?
Yeah.
It is about what they are doing with the virus and how they are telling us that we can be safe from it or not, and what they are then pushing in front of you.
Yeah.
That's where that's where the issue is. So let's take that and let's pull that apart a little bit. Go on.
I'm hearing all Americans will be expected to have a digital wallet by some point in 2021.
Yeah, the what not? Yeah, they won't. But they won't.
Yeah.
It's going to be. It's not. It's going to be non-mandatory at first.
Yeah, for a little
But like I
while.
said, for people, if you want to look up, these glasses are terrible.
Penny shining.
I'm wondering why I'm not seeing anything out of them. I'm like,
I can see actually there was a little bit of something on there.
yeah, really smudged
Little
out.
crumb or something.
But you see, for those who actually want to know, if you go and look at Agenda 2030, it will explain many things to you.
Yeah.
And that's a worldwide agenda. They want it to be done worldwide by then. So all of everything that they're doing now is just a test run. All right. But you will see that within the next 10 years, things are going to change rapidly. Right? They are going to change rapidly. And I believe there will come a point in time where they will be actually forcing people. Right now, they're saying that it won't be mandatory, you know, so you will have a choice. But that's going to change. I would stake money on it that that's going to change. And I'm saying stake money because they won't want money soon anyway, so it wouldn't matter.
Well, look, in America already, you know, if you want to go to a certain school, you have to have certain jabs and all
that's
these
it.
things. So
I was told the vaccine will be optional, but the new health passport is not.
See?
Well,
So then it's
okay.
the same shit.
Yeah,
then they
okay,
won't want to
but
let
I'm coming to that because that's the
Oh my
thing.
gosh.
Initially, everything will be voluntary
yeah.
because what they've said, they know that they're going to get a good uptake
Yeah.
because you can see, right? If you didn't know, just look on the street and you'll see how many sheeple there are. Right? The mask wearers
Yeah. They're the ones that will be lining up.
will take the vaccine. And we know there are some people who are wearing the mask by force. Those
That's a
ones may or
different
may
thing.
not take the vaccine.
Yeah.
But there's
Some may not.
there's a
but-
lot of mask wearers who wear the mask simply because the government said so.
Yeah.
They will take the vaccine.
Yeah, they will.
And that's whether we're talking UK, USA, or elsewhere.
Wherever.
So there's going to be a good number of people who will take the vaccine.
Yeah.
Now, here's what's going to happen. right? They're gonna implement things, but they're not gonna do it all in one foul swoop. They're gonna do it
No.
slowly.
It's a
So
slow
they're
progression,
gonna
yeah.
they're gonna tell, like for instance, as you know, for those people who watched our live last week when we talked about world politics, we talked about USA politics affecting the world. There's lots of people who think that it doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
But those ones who think that are the same ones who would be telling us that this is conspiracy thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But between us and you, the one who has the problem is not us,
No.
right? So, for instance, Ticketmaster, which is USA, but there's also all these companies are parent companies of UK companies, by the way.
Yeah.
So Ticketmaster said that their intention is that you will either have to produce a negative COVID test, or you must produce evidence that you have had the vaccine, and that you've had the current vaccine. Sorry, it said, because they know that it's going to be a yearly thing.
Yeah.
So they said that's why they said the current vaccine. Yeah. So here's the two things.
Yeah, I saw something that said, because it kept going around, but then I saw this, that Ticketmaster haven't said that.
Yeah, but that's UK.
So it's America
yeah.
where they
Ticketmaster USA, and if they are the parent company, later it will come to the UK as well.
Yeah, it will.
This is what I'm trying to say. It's in the USA that they've said this, right? And that's where it will start. And then later these things will filter through. And this is what people have to understand. Now, they have said that what they plan to do, and you know, if they say they plan to do it, most likely this is what they will do.
Yeah.
That you won't be able to attend any event that's run by Ticketmaster or etc. etc. Now, I read all that, then I thought, okay, let's see where this is going. If it's going where I think it's going, so I read further down. They said yes, and what they're going to do is make it digitalized, because this is what it is all about. This is where you've got to understand. Don't forget those words, because everything that you're going to hear after this in the next few years is going to be all about that word, digitalized,
Technology.
and using AI, artificial intelligence. Just mark my words. For those who think that this is conspiracy theory, well, it isn't.
No, it's not.
Artificial intelligence and digitalized technology is going to take over.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been slowly.
So what they've said,
gearing you up.
what they want to do is for people to send the proof only. Yes, exactly. When America sneeze, England catch cold. That's it. We know. And they want that information to be sent digitally so that they can check it digitally. And then what they've said is that all tickets will become digital.
Yeah.
Right. So, and this is gonna happen whether you think it's a conspiracy theory or not. There's no problem, because it's coming. You know, I can remember years ago teaching on some end time things and teaching some of these things back then when you know we didn't have as much information, and people said, "Oh, I'm talking not," and I stopped teaching that stuff for quite a while. You know,
because I'd never really heard, do you know what I mean, anything until we kind of started doing the more Bible study. Unless I came to you to speak about something, you didn't really talk about it much.
No, exactly. And why not? Because we just, well, you know, people are just floating along through life. But I'm going to keep on saying this, so you know, on these lives, we did say we'd probably talk about China all by itself.
Yeah, by itself. Yeah.
And I think we need to do some, well, not so much research. We could talk extemporaneously about it, but because I want to give people a balanced argument, we'll do some research, so we put together some specifics.
Yeah.
But mark my word, I'm going to keep on telling people, watch China. Watch China, watch China, watch China, watch China.
People think it's a joke.
They do.
Right?
They really do.
Chinese as a nation, in generality, and obviously we know specific people are not like that, but in generality, they're wicked. In generality, they don't like anybody else. We know anyway, nationally, they are communist. They are non-religious. communism is their god,
Yeah.
and so forth.
And they're trying to overrun Hong Kong there.
And they want to take over
Russia.
and they want to take over the world.
Yeah. That's their
You
aim.
know, China, and again, go and research if you think I'm lying. They have said that they would like the Chinese cryptocurrency to become more valuable than gold. So that should tell you something. Which means that at least it will become more valuable than any money.
Yeah.
I've taught on end time every year for the last 20 odd years toward the end of the year as new people come into the church. every
Okay.
year. Plus, it's a current book, so it's always relevant.
Yes, yes, absolutely, Daniel.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, and still, even as we're teaching it, more things are emerging,
Yeah.
which in fact they just confirm even and line up with what we actually, you know, are already teaching.
There's even Bible study every week. There's something
new.
Before we just start the Bible study, we discuss something, don't we?
Mm.
Has everybody heard what's going on this week? Every time.
But this is what I'm saying, and I'm going to keep on saying it. Watch China.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a joke. Now you see, even when Trump jumped up and said this is a Chinese flu, right?
And everyone
A,
got
a China virus.
Comes
he's
from China.
he's being racist and he's being this and
From
he's being
China,
that. He said
China.
no, it came from China. Well, the facts are out there now. Everybody knows that the facts are out there now. It came from China,
To be precise,
right? And it came from exactly where we knew it would come from.
Yeah.
It is not coincidence. It is not a surprise. It is a plan. That's what you got to understand.
Into it even more, who's the benefactor and
All right, then.
all these things of the back. That's a place that what was it? It was a lab that specialized in viruses and vaccines.
Mhm.
Who was the benefactor, and who was the one giving the donations for the money? Bill Gates.
Bill Gates Foundation.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is not a coincidence.
Yeah.
No. And even as it is right now, right? Even as it is right now, we have got information, and this is national information, it's not John Chambers information, that they're expecting the vaccine for the UK, you know, to be December. Yeah, so they expect to be injecting
Oh yes.
you people who want to take it,
2nd of
and I'm not one of them. It is going to be December.
Yeah.
A
That's
lower-
why the lockdowns
surprise,
are-
surprise.
But then
You know.
furloughs till March because
Yeah,
for the
because
people that
of
don't
the
take it,
for the people that didn't take it,
Mhm.
and so that they can test the results and
Yeah.
see the difference.
Mhm.
And try force people.
Yeah, and
This
force
is
the
they're
rest.
literally they're doing
It's
an
so
So
experiment
this
on
is
us.
December.
But I already said why they extended the furlough if the lockdown's only 4 weeks.
Mm.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist.
No. So,
That they're dodgy.
and then if you again you think that all these things are conspiracy theories, information can be found if you ask for it. If you don't know where to look, you can even
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
for information from government bodies in the interest of what's the word I'm looking for? Public interest.
Yeah.
You can find a lot of information. GPs are going to be paid £12.68 per jab.
Mm.
And so if you have to have more than one jab, well, they're going to get paid double of that. You know, there's going to be
I know what he's run one every year.
there's two different types of vaccine.
Mm.
For all those people whose immune system is just normal and doesn't have any issues or haven't had, there's one type of vaccine. And for the people who've had issues in their immune system, there is a different vaccine because they can't take the other one.
Mm. And why is that?
And we know why.
That one will kill
Because
them.
that one would kill them.
Yeah.
You know. So then that leads us on then to look to then talk a little bit more then about what is in it.
Yes.
Right?
Now we're getting to the
See?
nitty gritty.
What is in it, why and how.
Literally nitty gritty.
Right. So
Disgusting.
let me just read something to you if I find it.
How many things you have to like? I have to keep like that. What that's what I have to keep tabs open because if I don't, the page is gone.
Listen to this. UK first lockdown, was it March?
Yeah.
Yes, listen.
Yeah. March.
In March 2015, 5 years before, Bill Gates showed an image of the coronavirus during a TED talk.
Yeah.
Now, I tell you not one word. I don't know what Israel has put there.
We'll read it.
Just hang on.
Yeah, we'll read
I tell you not one word of a lie. And again, go and look to see if what I'm saying is not true. March 2015, Bill Gates showed the coronavirus and he did a TED talk. And he told the audience that it was what the greatest catastrophe of our time would look like. Why was he saying that? Right? Because it's a plan.
Yeah, he was programming them.
Yeah. Listen to this. This is what he said. The real threat to life, he said, is not missiles, but microbes. And he showed them coronavirus. Right? And that was 5 years before. This was Bill Gates, who I call Dirty Bill Gates, as you know.
Yeah, Israel said Trump also brought to light the fact that doctors in the US were paid an extra $2,000 to claim a death as a COVID death.
Yeah, and the same thing was happening.
That's
here.
right.
It was happening here.
They paid money.
Yeah.
They paid money.
And so they do
You
it.
know? Now, lockdown started in March, didn't it? So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to read something for you. Another piece of information about Dirty Bill Gates. Shush, shush, shush. Microsoft, who people, oh no, Bill Gates isn't in charge of Microsoft anymore.
Well,
Yes, he is. He founded Microsoft. It's his
He's
company.
never letting that go.
And he will never let it go. He will never let it go. But listen what Microsoft did. On the 26th of March, and this is public information, by the way. Okay? So for those people, again,
Most effective devil in America.
Yeah.
Media.
yeah. Right? For those people, again, who are saying that this is conspiracy theory, right? You can go and look up this information if you wish. Okay? I'm even going to give you where to find it.
Yeah.
Right?
Man,
March the 26th, 2020. Microsoft took out a patent, right? And this is found, and again, go look it up, World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO. Let me repeat that before they start jiggy-jagging with the Facebook. March the 26th, 2020, Microsoft took out a patent. Yeah? World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO. Okay?
So you know how to
Patent number WO 060606. Have you heard? Let me repeat. Patent number WO 060606. Is it coincidence that it's 666 inside there? Right, but listen to what it is. The patent declares that human body activity associated with a task provided to a user may be used in a mining process of a cryptocurrency system. Isn't that interesting?
Oh.
Now, so some people may get lost, so I'm going to try and just give you the synopsis.
Yeah.
So the body activity that Microsoft said would be included is radiation emitted from the human body, brain activity, body fluid flow, blood flow, organ activity, body movement such as eye movement, facial movement, muscle movement. So facial recognition, in other words, they're gonna be able to recognize who is having sex with who. and your blood system,
Mm.
muscle movement, as well as any other act that can be sensed and represented by images, waves, signals, text numbers, degrees, or any other information or data. So, in other words, any information from your personal human body,
Yeah.
they have a patent on it now. Once this injection goes into your body, that's what you've got to understand. So then it says that it's under the international intellectual property claim over our bodies and our minds.
Like they have any claim.
So
over
you
it.
now, as a human, you become raw material.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
And this
it
is Bill Gates,
Yeah,
right?
and this is what he.
This is Bill Gates.
And that's online. You can actually find that yourself.
Yeah. Oh, but not obviously not Obama or Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton, or he doesn't believe any of them people should be this
Yeah.
way, but all the rest of us lot,
Mm.
yeah, the ones lower down,
The ones who are
vermin,
lower in whatever you want to call it, lower in the pecking order.
yeah,
Mm.
in the pyramid, because obviously he's close to the top, isn't he?
Mm.
And everyone treats him as such as
Yeah,
well.
why
That's
it's gone
more of
to
the
bed.
problem, because really and truly, he's just some crusty little man.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, he's done Microsoft. Wow. Yay. But then look at the Steve Jobs man. Look what happened to him.
Mm.
But then I heard that he's not even really dead.
No, it won't
He's
surprise me.
hiding because obviously they tried to kill him off. I read, because remember I told you I read about how they
And it could be true.
that
Yeah.
gave him some medicine
Mhm.
and they were there killing him off with the medicine. Like they killed off that Bernie Mac man
Oh yeah.
with the medicine. His wife came out and said
Mm.
that he was taking some medicine and he was getting better, but then next minute he's dead. Steve Jobs started getting really sick, and then next minute he's dead.
Mm.
But like people said that they don't think he's dead. He's hiding somewhere, and I believe so, because that's why look how long it takes them to actually bring out a better Apple product than the last one.
Mm.
What are they on? Yeah, what are they doing?
Yeah,
Because they've lost him.
Because they have no direction anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's why. Oh, she put the patent number.
Yeah. So let me add a little bit to that. So then there's this thing called nanotechnology, right? Because if people are wondering why a computer software and hardware company, Microsoft,
Mm.
what interest do they have in the human body and how are they going to get inside there,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So here's how they're going to get in there to do this. They're going to use what is called nanotechnology.
Yeah.
And again, for those who say that we are conspiracy theorists, you can look it up. Nano is spelled Nano. Nanotechnology.
If you don't know what that is.
November Alpha, November Oscar. Nanotechnology. All right? It is not a conspiracy theory. It is a reality. That this is the way that they are going to do it. Now, interestingly enough, in the first batch of the injection, it might not be there,
Yeah.
right? Because they know the agenda. So they're looking at compliance,
Yeah.
right? So in this first order, because so then those who would argue, you're wrong, because see, they didn't put anything in there. They won't necessarily put it in the first batch because they are looking for compliance, right? When they've understood that there are enough people who are compliant to the COVID vaccine, then they will put the nanotechnology in.
Because then what will happen is,
and it'll be no
we've had
issue.
enough time now. We've perfected it.
You see?
This is it now. This is the upgrade
Right.
vaccine.
And then people
everyone
will be
be,
taking it.
yeah.
So listen to
Right.
this. Listen to this.
Get on my nerves.
Because what they want to do is to fool you into thinking that this nanotechnology
It's good.
is good. So here's what they said. Nanoparticles can bind to human angiotensin converting enzyme. which again, it's a bit.
It's
I
a bit
can't. I
hard
don't want
to
to go into the
explain,
detail
yeah.
of what that is, but have a look, and you can find out some of the information. It's what's within this. It's the structure within a cell.
Yeah.
So basically, what they're saying is that the nanoparticle has the ability to attach itself to the structure within a cell. So that means, and remember, this is what was said in the first place, that it will change people, right? Because this is now, they're going to use it to attach to the structure of your cell. So that it has the ability to change the structure of your cells.
This is cell
Right?
mutation.
Yeah.
Cell mutation. They're using the excuse that they're using it so that they can do it to fight coronavirus. So they will be limitless sites for transmission. So it can also act as an adjuvant and vehicle for delivering antigens into cells.
It's so funny that they can do this
And
with
then I'm just-
coronavirus, but not for people that got like cancer.
Yeah.
These things.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's no cancer treatments now because
No.
apparently everything is only COVID.
Yeah.
They've actually stopped people's treatments for this COVID.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make any sense?
Because they just want those ones to die. That's why, because they're the weaker people of society, innit? So the weak ones who are weak in health, must leave.
And so basically, I mean, I don't want to kind of blow people's heads off with it. So I was looking to sort of, I thought I could read a bit more, but I don't want to, because unless you're that type of person that's really can get into stuff like that, which I can, but if you can't, it's a headache. So let's just break it down, in the way that it is. Basically, what they're saying is that they will use the nanotechnology as a vehicle, and nanotechnology basically, it's like putting the minutest piece of plastic, so to speak, within your body, and it will form a coating around strands within your cells, and which then they can then communicate both ways. They can communicate into, and they can communicate out of. Right. So here's where the issue is, that this is really what it's all about. That they want this to go. So you see, when we read things in the scripture about the mark of the beast and so on and so, we don't know how that's going to work out, and it doesn't necessarily mean like that. Actually, it kind of means what it says. Really, those who don't believe in it, that's cool, because you will take it more easily.
Foolish people going around saying it's your phone.
But I can tell you now, for me personally, I understand very well what the steps are and what they're doing. So a lot of people will be shrugging their shoulders and saying, "Oh, you've read about Bill Gates and said that Microsoft have taken out this patent," and they'll just be shrugging their shoulders if to say, "So what?" Right? But no, it isn't so what. It's serious. And that's what you've got to understand, that they are expecting to invade your body in a way that they will then be able to communicate inside your body. So they will be able to take information out. They will also be able to put information in.
Yeah, that's what they want to do, because they want you to become compliant.
And please open your minds and understand, it is linked to a cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
It's not, and that's what the financial element, the financial reset. It's not just coincidence. Yeah, for the money. Yeah. But this it's got the one that they want to eventually put is going to be more upgraded than that.
That's why
it's going to communicate everything.
Yeah, that's why they're getting everybody used to, isn't it? With the whole, first it was contactless, then it was you can do it with your phone, then now it's you can do it with your watch, Then
Yeah.
it also
Huh?
then
Now you
became
can do it with your wrist.
yeah. That's what I'm saying because that's what they because that's why they've done the watch. You
Mhm.
people are not getting it to get you used to the boop or boop.
Yeah.
Boop.
You-
You're used to
you-
it
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you have the watch. So every time it's just
You just,
oh you
just
need
a
to pay.
handover. You get used
Simple.
to it paying
In
like that.
time.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't.
not a
In
coincidence.
I've got none of those things on my phone or anywhere. I pay in the old authentic, original fashion,
Yeah.
cash as many times as possible,
Yeah, I do as well. I try
and
to
card
use
payments where possible. I put my card in and put the number in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't use.
I wish I
no
could even be still
contactless.
signing my signature. I'm not even joking.
That was
No,
still an option. I'd be
You
doing
already
that too.
know.
Right?
Yeah, can I sign a check, please?
Yeah.
Because blessings family got to go.
All right, Daniel.
Alright,
Take care.
No, but it's
I heard
true,
you laughing
they're
at me
getting
about
everybody
signing my
used to it.
signature.
Yeah.
But
They're
yeah,
getting everybody used to that, so
Yeah.
that they can then swoop in with the see already it's please use cash, please
I mean,
please
please
use
use
card,
Listen,
please
but
don't use
remember, I was
cash.
in the,
It's to help all of
Asda.
us.
So they've changed the thing. One whole side is card only, and then the other ones are cash and
Cash
card.
and
Why
card.
can't they all be cash and card?
Yeah.
Because then there's some queue building in the shop because people don't
Which-
want to use their
which
card.
Asda was it?
Card.
Just here.
the little one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people don't want to use their card. So because the cash and card ones have got people on them, this queue is building up in the
Yeah,
shop. How
because-
does that make
Because
sense?
they've done that at Tesco as well.
Yeah, they've changed the big one.
Mhm.
There was one machine left in there which was card only, and the woman said they're changing it. So all of them will be card and cash in the big Asda
I think it should
Because I
be
think-
like that.
because people have been complaining.
Yeah, because it doesn't
And,
make sense.
Apparently, in the big Asda, the biggest one, I think it's in Middleton,
Oh,
people left their trolleys and walked out.
Look, Israel saying same in the Cambridge.
yeah, you see, they're trying it.
They were trying the thing and it's not
It's not
working.
working, mate.
Because that's the same thing I noticed when I'm waiting for the queue. You know, when
Yeah,
I
and
was
then
waiting
there's-
for the self-service,
There's
At
4 of them
Tesco,
empty
it's
because
going all-
it's card only.
all down
And people
the
don't want to
lane.
be forced to use their card, so they're waiting for the cash ones.
Yeah. This
Well,
is the
we
thing.
had the same problem. We were sent to one, and we didn't know because obviously the guy didn't ask us.
Yeah.
And then we said, well, you have to cancel the things because
We want
we want to pay with cash.
Yeah.
You know, and it's going to become more than an inconvenience.
Yeah,
You know, in years to come.
but it will be for both the people in the shop and the customers.
But eventually, as you know, they want the cashless system anyway.
Yeah, that's what they're pushing
And this is
for.
why what they want,
Look.
you see, is to be able to pull all these things together.
Yeah.
So they're restricting travel already in a certain way.
That's what I'm saying.
There's already
Right.
been certain people.
Australia and certain places are saying they want flights cannot come in,
Australia
And
was
they're-
already on some foolishness anyway.
Yeah.
and they're not flying out to certain places
What's that?
where
So,
where-
declare.
COVID is not in place. So, and we know why, because they're in a country that they stole. And this is-
So they have to
You know,
keep their
and this-
security
and this is
tight.
why they
Yeah.
have to keep their security
Yeah.
tight, because they know in their spirit we stole this country and
Yeah.
we, want
We
you,
don't want to give it back.
we don't want you to steal it
Kevin's
from us.
put- That's probably why COVID just kills mostly the elderly, so they can get rid of the cash payers.
Oh, dear.
Making me laugh. Israel said here, Australia also removed a good 2,500 cash points.
Yes,
So
they
this is
did.
what you've been finding here now.
But yeah,
in
here,
Leeds,
yeah.
all of them go to the
Out of
out of service, go to this one.
Yeah,
out
they're
of
removing
service.
them. In
Yeah.
Leeds, they're removing them as
They
well.
took the one out of the post office down there. didn't
Mm.
they?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they removed it.
Yeah, every
Yes,
minute.
it
Because I
out of
already
service,
said it
out
should
of
have been on the
service.
wall outside anyway, but now you
Yeah.
can't even go in there. They
No,
took
there's-
it out.
there's not
completely.
even
one
anyway.
No.
See the rubbish.
Well, this is what's happening. The restriction on the travel is something that again, read Agenda 2030.
Yeah,
It's
it
in
will
there.
all makes more
Right,
sense.
then it will make more sense to you about the
Says it all,
security
mate.
issue. So what they're doing so far, they're now saying that it may be the case. They always put the maybe
Yeah,
because they do know, but they're just trying to
spell it out.
Yeah.
style it out, as you say.
Yeah,
So they're saying it may be the case that you will have to have a travel passport, so that when you travel, you will have to prove that you have had the COVID
vaccine or test, isn't it?
vaccine, or that you have tested
Negative.
negative.
But that's also a flawed.
And then what they're going,
Concept.
what they're going to do later is that they're going to drop the test of negative and just say that you have to have had the
Yeah, because
vaccine.
they're going to say, "Oh no, the result." Because what they've already done is made it clear that the results are not to be trusted.
Yeah.
With these tests,
False
yeah,
positives
false
and-
positives and all these things, and then they're going to then turn around and say, "Oh no, you know, you could be coming up as negative, and you could actually still have corona, as the tests are not really what's the word,
and because they
credible."
brought in this rubbish of asymptomatic.
Yeah, and all
So
this stuff. That's what they're
they're
going to do.
using.
That's exactly what they're
Oh,
going to
well,
do. Because that's
you
why
could be a
people are.
carrier.
Yeah, and this is why people are testing positive and have not one symptom.
Yeah,
And
but
even
why
who
are you
was that
going to be
person?
tested?
My friend sent me an article. I can't remember. It was a
Well, no,
celebrity.
you must take your mic to go.
No, because that's what they tried to say to me when I had to take a test.
I'm sorry.
It
if you
said
can
on the
ride your
test,
bike to
right?
get tested,
It said on the thing, I can't take a taxi. I can't take bus. No public transport can I take. If I don't have a car of my own, I must then walk to the nearest testing point. But the nearest testing point to me was far. I'm
So
talking like
why can't you take a taxi?
because you may
you may
infect the
be
driver,
infecting the driver.
but it's only one person, so I don't see why it's an issue.
Only if you have the symptoms.
Then the
Yeah.
test is correct. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, then it said, oh, if you can't walk, ride a bike to the
But
testing
if you can
centre.
ride your bike to the test center, you don't
You've
need
got
the
no
test.
test. You don't need it. You riding a
And
bike.
if you
If
can
you're
walk,
ill,
and if you can,
According to those symptoms, you should not be able to ride the bike nowhere.
you shouldn't be able to walk that long distance.
yeah,
either.
exactly. Some 1 hour distance.
So if
to
you
the
can
test.
walk, if you can walk a long
Oh,
distance,
because they
you're
want
cool.
you to die on the way. That's
Yeah.
why.
It's not even a joke, but that's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
Because they're telling you if you're really sick, yeah, you will call the hospital, the 999. And if you're not that sick, well, get walking.
But then,
And
I just
take
think
your
it
little
makes no
test.
sense.
And
And
then
why
my-
are you going to get tested if you're not sick? I don't. Why?
Because people are full of fear and they get it into their little brains. Oh, I've got COVID. Do you know what I mean? That's basically how it's going. These hypochondriacs all around the joint, are getting too scared. They're having a little,
Yeah.
sniffle as they do at this time of year, like everybody does. And then, oh no, I've
I'm
got
off to get
corona. I need to go. Do you know? I'm not interested. My friend sent me an article where some celebrity, the left nostril tested positive and the right nostril was negative. Tell me how that makes
Load of
any
rubbish.
sense.
Load of
And
rubbish.
I already said, if that test comes back positive, I'm not listening. That's what I was saying. 'Cause I said, I know it's rubbish and I ain't got no corona. And I feel like that's the only reason it came back negative. Because they knew it weren't going to work.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I know you lot and your false positives. Yeah, giving people positive. They're not even sick.
Yeah, this
It's
is
even
it.
testing positive on apples.
That's
Remember
what
that
until
man?
A piece of fruit is testing.
And what
Yeah, yeah,
happened?
they
to-
did that in Tanzania.
Yeah. And what happened to that man who exposed that?
Yeah, where is
sudden
he?
death syndrome.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe they gave him the vaccine.
They did.
They must have given him some injection.
Yeah, they tested the vaccine on him. I was feeling unwell in September. My brother said get some
This is what I'm saying though.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is
That's
what
right.
I'm talking about.
Use the home remedies, darling.
Yeah,
You can't even get a
It's
normal
like
cold
You
now.
can't get a
Yeah.
normal cold now.
Because everything is COVID.
Mm-hmm. People have forgotten that normal cold exists.
Yes, that it is October, November, and people get
Mhm.
sick this time of year
This is what I'm saying.
because it's cold.
That's what I'm saying. It's normal. It's
Yeah.
not unnormal.
But I
This
tell
happens
you,
every
it's
single
these
year of our
healthy
lives.
people that are going and getting tests that are bringing up these so-called numbers. But also, cases are not deaths either.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the same as if you got tested positive as if you died from it. But okay. Like,
But then also they're saying that people have died from it anyway,
when they
because-
have it,
because if they then go into hospital and have a positive test
yeah,
whilst whatever else is going on at the same
Mm.
time, then this is the reasoning.
Yeah.
You see, and
Mhm.
Some
what people are
actually
missing
accept
here,
yeah,
we're going to finish soon anyway.
Yeah.
We're coming up to our hour and a half here. So
Mm.
what people are missing here is the bigger picture.
Exactly.
For instance, let me use myself. What's that? Go on, say.
But died with COVID, died of COVID.
Yeah,
there's a
exactly. There is a
difference.
difference. Let's use myself as an example.
Mm.
It's only last week that I managed to see anybody in a cardiac department for the whole of this year.
Yeah, because
Right.
your appointments were no
Because
longer.
the appointments are no longer, they're not interested.
Mhm.
I spoke to cardiologists months and months ago on the phone. And then I said to her, I would prefer to see you. She said, oh, pretending as if she didn't hear what I said. Oh, I'll book you for another telephone appointment next year. Another telephone appointment next year. Right? So,
They think that that's okay.
in the in-between time, because I told them I want my medication to be changed, I've been fighting with them for that. I got an appointment to see someone, and I saw someone in the cardiac department on Thursday. Now, this is in November. We're in November? Yeah,
Yeah.
November. That's from the whole of this year.
Mm.
There are people equally who should have had cancer treatments, and for the whole of the year, they've had no treatment.
Yeah.
They've not seen an oncologist or a hematologist for the whole year.
Yeah.
Nobody's cared about those people and what they're going through.
No.
So
But
even if,
COVID has cured all other ailments.
Yeah.
or it's just that they don't care about anything else.
Israel said, yes, a goat and a papaya tested positive for COVID in Tanzania.
That's right.
Tanzania said, sure. They went against the who brought Madagascar's herbal remedy called COVID Organics.
Yeah.
That's right. You see, and this is the thing, that there are people, because then what are they going to say about these people who need cancer treatments,
Yeah.
people who need to see
Dialysis
cardiologists,
and all those.
you know,
things.
all these things that
all
they've
these
took
people
away
who are at
from
the top of the list, and they're just basically being ignored.
Mm.
So some of them do end up dying.
Yeah.
You know,
I bet they put it COVID for them as well.
some people don't know, and I know it because of my particular personal condition. I don't know if these two, if I remember, if I told you, but you'll hear it now anyway.
Mhm.
If I go to hospital, and I'm telling you now, I will beat you up if you bring me to the hospital, and I'm not joking. Don't you dare. If I'm not well, better I stay inside my bed upstairs.
Mhm.
Do not take me to hospital.
No, I wouldn't anyway.
They have already said
Mm.
that people like me, with my condition, we will be left.
You see the rubbish.
Right. So if it comes between a case of that, oh, I'm in a critical condition, they're not going to try to save me.
So what's the
Yeah.
point in leaving Britain?
Right. So do not
Exactly.
bother.
There's no
They're just
point.
gonna fast
not
forward
bother.
it.
Yeah,
Sarah,
exactly.
I
That's
told
what they do.
I told Sarah already, and I'm telling you too. If anything, don't even try.
Yeah. I wouldn't anyway. I wouldn't.
I don't believe in ghosts, but I'll be coming back. Right? So don't try it. Just forget it.
Yeah.
I'm not going there.
No, what's the point?
Right,
For them
because
to
they've
just-
already told you
Because
that.
they've already said that people who are in my condition, what they call, the you know, whatever it is, the top percentage of people critical, blah,
yeah,
blah, blah,
that's it.
whatever.
High risk.
High
High
risk.
risk.
That's it. Yeah.
You're
high
going to be
risk
left to die.
people. You see
Right?
the crap
You're going to be left to die,
left to
Right.
die, you know.
and that's irrespective of whether you have a do not resuscitate
Oh no,
in
no.
place or not. And I don't have one in place.
And they were going around forcing people to have one though.
But
Yeah,
this
they
is why I'm
were.
saying it,
Yeah.
because this is what they're saying, that they have a protocol now in place. It's an unwritten protocol, but all the doctors know it. That somebody like that now, who would be somebody like me, and they say, oh, this guy is going to die if we don't do ABC. They won't do it. They'll just leave you to die. So, no. And this is then will boost up their numbers, you see.
Of course.
And we're seeing already that there are people who have gone into hospital,
They don't come back.
They've
out.
died.
Yeah.
they've died. Already this year, people who I know,
Yeah.
you must be joking. And I know it's the hospital.
I know
They're-
it is.
Yeah.
They twist it how they want. Oh, they just came in, they're really sick, they died of
No,
COVID.
no.
Nah, you killed them off.
Yeah.
Killed them. And we
Definitely.
already looked into
Right.
this because
They were
remember,
killing
Dad,
people
what
with
I
them
told you.
ventilators, putting people on
But
and
this
that
is-
didn't need it.
This is what I already told Dad about the ventilators. This was back in what? Like
March.
April, March or something. I said something's not right with them ventilators because they declined the public ventilators that were to be given by the actual
The health-
people, the health organizations that make them.
And
They
brought-
declined
brought
them
new
and
ones.
brought them from James
James
Dyson, the Dyson
The
Hoover man.
Yeah, so he's hoovering out people's lungs.
Yes, that's exactly it. Because why are we getting ventilators from James bloody Dyson?
Yeah.
Please
But really
explain
though, 'cause
to me.
that's the first thing I thought.
Yeah.
That man made vacuum.
That's
That's what I said.
okay, all right.
We're soon done anyway.
Yeah.
Because
So-
you know this is it's enough.
This is not even people don't understand how deep it's really.
No,
And we
because
ain't
no
even got
one's-
to the.
Just say what you're saying. Just say.
We ain't even got to the deeper facts of this vaccine.
I can't even be asked
I know.
because people will listen
They're
to
just-
what they want to.
Yeah.
I know. Even when
And
I,
Facebook is forcing them to
you
listen
know,
to what they want them to hear.
even when I've read out the patent of Microsoft, people will be shrugging their shoulders.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that.
Nah,
But
just
it does.
extra.
It does.
It does.
It does.
Please, if you- even
Microsoft
when you
have every intention of invading your physical
Yes.
body.
Yeah.
Yes, listen, that number is that number for a reason.
Yeah.
And then when you see it somewhere, it's not no
It's
coincidence.
not coincidence.
No, it's not.
That's why I told you Bill Gates is a evil man.
Yeah, because that's why even you
But
might
they
get
send you that
a debt
letter
letter or something.
from the
Who's got what's the what's
Did I
the
even tell
number?
you that
What?
they sent that letter for Alexis
Which one?
to get tested. I think they
Oh
sent
yeah,
you.
yeah. She told me. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
sent everything to
And
get
it says
tested
that
for
thing on the top of
corona.
it, which translates to they died.
Yeah, Debbie, you're correct. Dyson won the contract this year. You're correct. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. He won the contract,
And
and
again,
so did the Amazon man.
again, because they'll be part of the Luciferian
Yeah.
A Luciferian doctorate.
program and grouping.
Yeah.
You know, they're all part of the same grouping.
But that's why that's man that like the what's his name. I don't like that Amazon man at all.
No,
and I've been
he's
saying
What's his
for
name? Bezos. or
yeah,
something?
Jeff
He's
Bezos.
wicked.
Yeah,
And
he
I've
is
been saying for
horrible.
years that he's a wicked, horrible
that
man.
man
People
is a
joke.
Satanist.
Yeah.
So
He
then-
just keeps his things very much under
Yes,
covers.
Yeah.
yes, he does.
Right? But if you dig
But
hard
that's even
enough,
worse.
if you dig hard enough, it's
You
gonna
can
come out.
find it.
And it will
Because even I
soon
told
show.
people about them Alexas, right, and not to be having them on all the time.
Hey,
'Cause they're
listen.
listening into your conversation, they're listening into your life. No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, yes, they
Listen,
do.
I've
That's
heard
one
exactly
time
what they
as
do.
well.
That's what I'm saying. That little speaker thing.
Yeah.
One time we had that birthday party for Adriana, yeah, at Mum's house. I'm cleaning up afterwards. Tell me why the Alexa just turns it herself on and then starts replaying part of the party. So I'm thinking,
they're recording.
yeah. So I'm thinking, what's this noise? What's all this talking? Who's all these? I'm like getting confused, thinking, what's this noise? Until obviously I'm starting to recognize voices in the recording. Then I was like, and I just pulled the plug and turned it off, mate, and it ain't been on since.
You should have asked it. Did you record it?
Yeah,
Yeah. See what it says. You know when you ask me questions like, you part of the CIA? It's like,
yeah. I can't
It goes
answer
off.
this and all these things.
Or it pretends it hasn't heard you.
Yeah.
The light goes off.
Because even with Siri, when you ask the same question,
Siri, man.
are
Yeah.
you part of, are you for Freemason? Are
You know,
you
because
this
Siri
thing? Are
wants
you
to
that?
get fresh. That's what I don't like.
I don't quite understand the question you're asking. And all these little.
Yeah, Siri, you are a liar.
Yeah.
That's what I
not
say.
very nice. That's what they start saying. And all of it.
I say neither are you.
Listen, we asked Siri one time why was Mary at home. It's popped up with some things about Mary Magdalene.
But you see what I mean?
That's what I mean.
You
And
see?
these are the things what are getting you used to the whole.
Artificial intelligence.
This is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you see?
Look, Israel,
The
what
Alexa
Israel
can
said.
testify against
The
you
Alexa
in
can now
court.
testify because it's
Because
listening,
they're listening to
to
everything.
every little thing that you're saying.
Well, no Alexa, no Joseph, no Mary, no nothing. It's in my house. Cyril or who? None of them. Ain't no business.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And
They're not
people
coming
think
in
this
my
is
yard.
a joke. Yeah, they're getting you used to that.
Yeah.
Used to the high level of watching,
Something
see something, recording your conversation, and then now they've even done a whole Alexa home. So you've got the Alexa thing on top of the TV.
Yeah.
That's a little
So
camera.
it's connecting
Then
to
you've
every
got
device in the home.
every device in the home, lights, heating,
Nah,
everything,
I don't want it.
TV, everything is
You
Alexa.
need to watch that film.
They were
actually.
trying.
It's called
They were trying to
Wow.
give me one for free
You see?
when I bought this
Daddy was
this new laptop.
You know why they were doing that?
And I said no.
Because
I
they
just-
want to come listen in.
yeah, yeah.
It's like a big microphone.
Yeah.
Because they said now on this, I control the camera,
Yeah.
so it's not on unless I say that it's on.
And they
See?
want something that has to be on.
Yeah, to listen in.
Yeah.
I'm telling you
Yeah.
now, because I've told
That's
you
the
there's
only
times
reason
where
why
you're
it would
not
be
even
free.
calling it. Same with Siri.
Yeah, but
There's
Siri
times
does
you're
that.
not even
How
calling
can I
them,
help you?
and they're whoop, turning on and all this kind.
I don't like
And you're like, I'm not chatting to you.
But you
man.
see, the ultimate aim, because we'll wrap this up anyway. The ultimate aim is that they're going to put that inside of you,
Yeah.
so then they won't have that problem of telling you to buy Alexa or Siri or whoever it is. Right? You won't have to be
You will
buying
just be-
none of them
none of
because
it.
it will
Yeah.
just be you.
You'll just be
Take the
telling you.
COVID vaccine and you'll have it
Yeah.
inside you.
Then
Right?
you'll become a compliant little.
And again,
Go
let
on,
me
let's-
say this.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
hour and 40 minutes in, I'm going to repeat myself. From the beginning, I said I will address those who say that I am one of the conspiracy theorists. Again, I am an intelligent man, way above average intelligence. And again, you don't have to believe me. If you want, we can test it and we can prove, because that part I'm not scared to do. I am very, very excellent at research.
Yeah.
I don't make stories up. I don't just talk for the sake of talking. So those who say this guy is part of the conspiracy theorists, etc., etc., everything I have said, go and look and examine for yourself.
Yes.
I don't have to have a note.
And even if you tell me today, oh, Mr. Chambers, John Chambers, whatever you want to call me, you're wrong, because when the vaccine came out in December, there was no nanotechnology in it.
You've already said.
Well done. It might not be in the first one, but I can guarantee you that when they tell you we have now the finished and polished product,
Telling
Right?
you. This is
In
what
that-
I'm
the
telling you.
nanotechnology will be in it, and they will now tell you what we have decided is that when you take this vaccine, it will be your passport,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah, etc. Right? And we'll do away with all other forms of
wow.
identification. And this is how it's going to roll, little
And
by
people
little,
are just gonna,
right?
oh, this is nice. This is technology.
Because that's why it's connected to a cryptocurrency,
yes.
right? So that they
It's
can
as
then
simple as that.
say, well, you don't need anything
You don't
else,
need anything
Yeah.
now.
right? Because it's all within you.
You don't need no money.
And that's exactly
everything's
what the
there.
Bible said, right? That it would be connected, because people say, oh, well, then it'd be connected to a computer system. Of course, you're correct.
Yeah.
It will be. It will be.
Like your phone and
It will
all your
be.
devices.
Yeah.
It will
You
be.
will be connected.
You personally will be connected to
Yeah.
that system.
Because what you see on the Matrix,
You see, and
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
missing.
where it's like this,
And let me.
and there's cameras,
Listen,
you can see
wait.
the people.
This is what I want to tell people, because for me this is a very personal point,
Mm.
and I don't make my decisions rashly.
Yeah.
I am a child of God. I'm a man of prayer. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. I pray. I read his word. I sit and I meditate and I listen to him. And I listen to him more than I listen to the news. Okay?
Mhm.
Just so you understand. So let me tell you something, and then we're done. Because this, as I told you, for me, this is quite personal as well.
Mhm.
They told me we would like to put a pacemaker in. So then I said, oh, okay, I'm listening. Tell me what part, what kind. So what they wanted to put inside of me, there are different types. There is some where it's just a pacemaker. There is some where it is a defibrillator and a pacemaker. A pacemaker, I believe most people understand what that is. Defibrillator, maybe not so many.
Mm.
Basically, the difference is that the defibrillator will give your heart an electric shock. It's
Yeah.
like a jump start, yeah? which you've seen them do it when they have those two
Yeah.
big pads, and you see them. People jump, you know.
Person bounces
So
up.
you will have that inside, and then the pacemaker. It basically electronically speaks to the wiring of your heart, so that it can regulate your heart rate at a particular
So it's not doing too much.
pace.
Yeah.
So it will beat at a particular beat and pace, etc.
Mm.
Fine. So they gave me all the rationale and the reasoning behind why they believe that it should be done.
Mm.
So I asked them a couple of things. I said, so what happens when it's in? You know, they said, oh,
You're going to be,
you know, you can, first of all, you can feel it. And I'm not really interested in that.
because then you're going to be lying in bed and
You know? But now also what they said, and this was the interesting part, because I asked the question, I said, so then, how do you know the information?
Mhm.
You know, how do you know what's
Where's
going
the
on?
research? Where's the
No, listen to what I'm saying, because you're getting the wrong point. Said, how do you know the information of what's going on? Yes, it can be remotely monitored, right? And it can be adjusted remotely,
You see it there? Nah.
right? So, in other words, you don't have to go into the clinic for them to adjust your heart rate. So your heart rate can be adjusted from outside. So that means, and okay, this now could be conspiracy theory. They could literally switch my heart off,
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'd
or
say.
switch it up too fast until it pumps itself out,
Yeah.
and I drop dead.
Yeah.
Now you may turn around and
There's
say,
an
ah,
electrical
but they wouldn't do that.
But how do you know?
But they might do if they don't like what I'm saying.
Exactly.
And the system says we don't want this guy around anymore.
Right.
Let's give him an early death and say he
Yeah.
died of, because his heart wasn't well anyway.
Well, yeah. So,
So,
people
as
can be
the
shocked.
Almighty God in heaven lives, let me tell you, never, let me repeat again, never will they put any device inside this heart of mine.
Yeah.
And I will not die young.
Amen.
I will be an old man when I die.
Yeah.
Everything will be white, even everywhere. Right? Let me tell you. And they will never,
No. Because
no device will ever be put here.
No, but they think they're
No COVID vaccine with nanotechnology will go in this body.
No.
You can send me even to jail if you wish.
Yeah. I'm
But
not
me-
joking on that.
No chance whatsoever.
We've said this already, have we not? I
And,
already
and,
said
and,
that.
and that's very
Yeah.
personal for me and very
I don't see
absolute.
why, for someone who's never had vaccines, why they would start in their 30s.
But this is
I
what
will
I'm
never.
saying. Let's see what Israel said.
The thousands that took the swine flu vaccine in the UK were compensated 60,000 each because the vaccine caused them brain damage. Yes, and I read that.
2009. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
see?
read that.
For something that they
But
even
also,
then
why is
claimed
there a
was
clause for
awful.
them that they don't have to accept liability if something happens if there ain't nothing wrong with
Well,
it?
that's
they
it.
already
Well,
know.
you don't have to accept liability if anything happens. I don't have to accept it,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Because as I
Why
said,
didn't you
as I
accept
said at the
liability?
beginning,
Because they know.
I'm sitting here today with heart failure because of their medicine.
Because they didn't want to accept
Because they didn't want to
liability.
accept liability. You see?
It's not
Otherwise,
happening.
otherwise
Yeah.
I was supposed to have
And
been a
again.
millionaire,
Yeah,
right? And I
exactly.
wasn't able to sue them because of that.
Yeah.
But having said that, I don't care because suing them would not even really be the issue.
No.
But that's the reason why
It's not going to repair your heart.
No.
Bill Gates take everybody's injection
Yeah.
and let me see that you've taken them.
Yeah, let him take it
Right?
first
I
and show
wanna see how
everybody
you're
that it
looking.
works, innit?
And I want to see him taking all of ours
Yeah.
in his back.
Him and his children.
Right?
Yes.
Take
Yeah,
the
the
injection
children
yourself.
as well.
Yeah. You and your
You
family.
see?
You and your
take it
children that
first.
you've given no vaccine.
Because
Yeah.
even all Trump and all them, right? Trump was sick with COVID, but he's gone in hospital, and then boom, he's come out. He had some kind of experimental
Yeah.
treatment. You aren't tech man for idiot,
Yeah. No, you had the you
right?
didn't have nothing.
You never-
Or you had the real, proper herbal holistic
Proper stuff
medicine.
that will make you feel normal.
Yeah.
And we don't care. Even if we like Trump, we don't like him that much.
No.
Right?
That's what people
So
need to
don't
realize.
take people for idiots.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yes, he's okay. Boris Johnson, he was sick and then he went up and he's all right now. Nah, Keep your injection, my friends.
These two old people. Elderly men.
Debbie, stop. But at the
Yeah,
end of
it's
the day, if we go to jail, at least we won't have bills to pay, so we wouldn't need their It's true. We wouldn't need no cryptocurrency then, innit? But no, they still couldn't.
Yeah, they'll make us take my thoughts in jail.
Do you think?
No,
No, they
I'll,
can't.
I'll fight them to the death in
Because
there.
they can't. All they'll do is what will end up happening is there will be a wing.
You'll
of
be
non-compliant.
non-compliant people.
Yeah.
Lock me up in the
You can all stay
non-compliant.
there and because what they'll say is you can all
Stay there
stay
and all
there and
get sick
fester
together.
and get sick together.
No
Yeah.
We
problem.
would have to sleep on
Lovely.
No problem.
You
No
already
problem.
know.
They can do what they want. I'll make sure that I can get in the kitchen to cook my own food.
Yeah, we'll all be
Israel
together.
will all be together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We got no problem.
They'll just be let's put them all together.
Because it's not happening.
No, it's not.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
I
not
don't
gonna
care
go.
what they say. Under no circumstances whatsoever will I be taking that.
Yeah.
Nah.
And on that point, me done.
Yeah.
Like the little man in the Mandalorian said, I have spoken.
Yeah.
Right. So now I've advertised the Mandalorian for Disney. I want my credits. Right?
Good night, everyone.
Bye.